Hey guys, Pat Tokuyama here. Today I wanted to do a review, or several reviews, of some of my favorite lenses. Alright, so next up what I had here was the Sony 90 macro lens. This is a full frame lens by Sony. As you can see here, it is decent size. It's an f2.8 and it has actually OSS, or Optical Stabilization, in here, which is not necessarily for video because it's super tight, but more so for the macro because you don't really want to move your camera when you are shooting something really small. Here on the lens itself, you can see it has a focusing range here where you can have full range of focus, something in between infinity and 0.5 meters and 0.5 and 0.28. So depending on what you're shooting, if you're going to be shooting within one of these ranges, as long as you select your switch to that range, it'll focus much quicker versus using the wrong range or setting. Also, this is the OSS setting if you want to keep it on or off. It allows you to do that. There's a focus hold button here. And then this is the ring where you can make adjustments for the focus. And then here, all you have to do if you want to switch between auto and manual focus, you just flip this up and down. So it's really easy. As you know, manual focus is the best for macro photography. It also includes a lens hood and it feels very well built, like most of the Sony G line. The main reason that I purchased this lens was for food photography for my business, getting a nice close-up look of some of the ingredients that I was using, some of the dishes as well, along with a little bit of compression. Because of the longer focal length, it helps to change the perspective of the food that you're looking at, and it just looks very nice. In addition, every now and then I would do some portrait photography for my family or friends, and this lens came in handy to do that. It's a great portrait lens as well if that was something that you're looking for. So we'll go ahead and talk about some of the pros and cons. We'll go ahead and start with the pros. Again, this is a Sony lens, so it feels like it's very well built. Perfect for all the Sony cameras, whether you're using a crop sensor or full frame. It also has these features here to really control or improve the autofocus speed. If you need to use it for your photography, there's the option for the steady shot, or even for video if you're going to be doing something like that as well. The autofocus is super easy to switch in between manual and auto, and overall it does what it's supposed to do. It takes excellent macro photos and can also be used for portraits, or if you want just something more longer on the longer end, 90 millimeters is sort of right there where it's not too long. It's not completely a telephoto lens, and it's not exactly something that's going to be medium either. As far as some of the cons go, I think the focus ring could be a little bit tighter. It feels a little bit looser than a Sigma lens that I've used, for example, but it's not necessarily something that I would say is a deal breaker or is cause for concern. It does what it's supposed to do, and it's just sensitive, I guess. That's the word that I was looking for. So if you don't have steady hands, it might take a little bit of being gentle to get a better focus as you use it. In addition, it comes with a carrying bag and lens hood. I think instead of the carrying bag, which is made of leather, I think it would have been nice to have like a case, a hard case, so that chances are you're going to be traveling with this. It'll be a little bit better protected. Third is this unusual filter length. This is sort of filter size. So the lens filter is 62 millimeter in diameter, and I don't have any filters for this lens because of that. And if you're in the same situation, you have other size filters, perhaps you can just use a step up ring and use something larger with this. But then that's just another thing that you're going to have to carry. So overall, those are just a few of the cons that I could think of after using this. I've been very happy with it. Like I mentioned, I initially got this for my macro photography, for doing this for taking pictures of the food or the dishes that I created, along with the ingredients that I use, as well as my gardening and taking pictures of flowers. So if you're into taking pictures of flowers, macro photography, or you want something that you can use for portraits, I think this Sony 90 macro is an excellent option to consider based on all of the features. And the pros definitely outweigh the cons, in my opinion, and this is something that I've had in my kit ever since I switched to Sony from Nikon and Panasonic. So hopefully that helps you in your buying decision, but that was everything that I wanted to say about the Sony 90 macro.